Righto. Afternoon, or whenever you watch this. One day I'll have like a fixed intro line that I can say without being all awkward. I hope there won't be too much noise from outside. The neighbors are doing some minor constructions on a Sunday. And even though it's bearable in terms of heat, it's only 27 degrees, which I never thought I would say. It is still a bit stifling up here in my room, so I kind of need to have the window open, unless it's really too loud. Right. Yesterday I finished the last of the Morrison mining contracts, so now all that's left to do is a bunch of GR Enterprise stuff. This Airdrome Logging contract was selected, so no reason not to do that. I think I should use the Royal for this. I did say I was going to use the Fleet Star a bit more before the end of this region, because I haven't really used it much. But medium logging is not really something I want to do with the Fleet Star. I'm here in the Royal. I think I want to just leave this trailer somewhere here, because Lord knows we will need a semi-trailer soon. So if I can just leave this somewhere here, kind of convenient and stable. Recover to White Valley. We shall need this. And as always, the dilemma that shouldn't really be a dilemma, but it still is, because we need to get from here around here. I don't really know if you can cut through here. I don't think I should try that. And then yesterday we went through here and ended up going the wrong way around. This bit was kind of sticky. I haven't really been through here, so I think I want to try that. And against my better judgment, I'm just gonna wait. You could argue that the raised suspension isn't even really worth it, because we've been doing fine with just the stock suspension. But still, on paper it's not that big of a difference, even 47 to 51 inch. So let's slap some UOD2s on there. And I think that's gonna do it. I'm not gonna bother with trailers, it's just two fairly short runs. Jesus. What did I even hit? As long as I drive at least a bit carefully on the paved, icy roads, as in not too fast, I think we should be fine, even with the off-road tires. It's always the worst that can happen. Is not when you frontally crash into a barrier, but when you like skirt up against it. Okay. There might be a shorter way. Let's just follow the roads. It is a bit slippery. Okay. I should have gone counterclockwise. But then just turn around here. Always try to have the least possible distance, or the smallest, shortest possible distance from the loading thing out of the station. Now I'm curious. If the raised suspension will significantly affect the balance, tippiness. I said that there isn't a big difference between the bigger tires and the smaller ones, which you could argue is an argument against the raised suspension. But at the same time, it's an argument for raised suspension, because if the difference isn't that big, it shouldn't affect the balance too much. Then again, there is a difference between, or I assume there's a difference between the raisedness of the suspension and the tire size, because maybe you could have bigger tires. I don't know. It's all speculation. Wait, because I do want to check. This is kind of uphill, this road. And this bit, it looks easy on, it looks easy and straight on the map, but it's kind of uneven. Yeah, I'm gonna risk it through here. In my mind, this is 50% a test run with no real consequences if something terrible should befall us. I just realized I forgot to take a screenshot yesterday. As you probably know, if I remember, I like to take one or two nice screenshots with some action to replace the more generic thumbnail that I use for the streams on YouTube. So the VOD stream just looks a bit nicer and more relevant as to what happened. I think you'll find there is no lumber mill that way anymore. Jesus. That was a very unexpected boost of speed. And I have a feeling this is a bad idea. If this is the worst bit, I guess it's still fine. Fine. I'll play by your rules. Any truck. Maybe. No, not the GMC. Kodiak, perhaps. I hope the logging crane isn't too expensive. 8K. I know, right? I'm trying to do it the right way and not just delete everything and recover and try again. Impeccable timing, sir. I did realize straight after starting that I had found the raised suspension for the Royal, but I never equipped it. I must have found it during the, I forget when, but a few streams ago, when I went out of my way, used MapRunner to find all the hidden upgrades. One of those must have been that raised suspension, but I never thought to equip it. Of course, I didn't take into consideration the fact that the truck is also not on its wheels. I don't know if the Kodiak will be able to pull it straight. Okay. Try not to pull it on the other side. I had my doubts about this path. I hadn't been through here. In my mind it was a bit easier than going up this kind of icy hill and around this way, but yeah. Now, no, I don't want to reverse too much. Generally, I do like not falling over. I like the logging crane. It's not something you typically use a lot. It's been a long time since I even used it, so this might be painful to watch. Nope. This would have been a nice time to maybe try the... what's it called? The sideboard shuffle. Or not necessarily sideboard, but like loading 6 logs and not stacking them. What is happening? This should already be fine, but, you know, make it a bit neater. Yeah. Maybe go forward just a bit. Jesus. I don't want to cheat and drive pretty much all the way there like this, but I'm a bit scared to stack them, pack them, I mean. Yeah. We're very slowly sinking to the right. No. If I let go now, will I instantly keel over? Okay, note to self, do not come through here unless you really, really have to. See, like, I'm not moving. Come on, stupid winch points. There's like a current. This is a stream, so it makes sense that there's a current, but I'm drifting upstream. Okay. Scared to do this, but I have to. This is too much stress for a first thing to do on the stream. I will fall over at least one more time. But at this point it doesn't really make sense to return and go the other way. Turn back. Could not think of the word. Yeah, if this tree could break, that would help. Probably should not leave the middle low gear. Okay. Slingshot maneuver. If I can find the right tree in this swamp of winch points. What am I stuck on? Okay, yeah, this was just all around a terrible idea. It's hard to say how much the raised suspension is contributing to the level of fear I'm experiencing. Come on. It's like it just stops moving and the wheels don't even spin when I accelerate. But then low gear plus is like a rocket ship. What is going on with these? Trying to find the top left tree. Jesus, this is the worst. If anything, I am kind of glad I didn't take the second load of logs on a trailer. Because at least now I can recover and start from scratch if I want to, or if I need to. No. Can you not do that, please? No. Jesus Christ. Every time I let go of the winch, I get like 10 meters further and then I have to spider winch again. Yeah, that's putting it lightly. Desperate to tip. If I were smart and if it were possible, I guess it is possible, but I would always want to have a safety line attached. Just leave it in low minus, except when I need the extra power, like now, until I get out and then back to low minus. Low plus. This is scary because there aren't any solid winch points. Yeah. Maybe that stump. Yeah. Don't winch too much, otherwise you have like tension built up, and when you release, you slinch or you catapult the other way. No. I'm noticing the lack of difflux. And I don't know what I'm stuck on here. Okay. Just a quick yank. I don't see anything that could have blocked me there. Unless like some... maybe that... looks like there is one branch or something just behind me. Yeah. It is quite a bit cooler today. Actually bearable upstairs, but still the pants sweat stains are happening as we speak. They did forecast quite heavy thunderstorms last night, pretty much all over the country, mostly Flanders. There have been a few fires. I just checked the news this morning. There have been 4, I believe, fires in the more general area because of lightning strikes. And I think I saw something about 1 fatality. I know I could recover, I just want to check if this route is in any way easier. Seems to be. This is a bit sketchy. Yeah, this is not gonna be fun. But I don't know how else you would go. Because now we went this way. The way I'm trying now isn't that much better. If I could, I would try to go straight through the trees. Or like through the river and up here. Really not sure. I guess if you're careful enough, you can get anything, like any kind of cargo through any kind of route. With skill and patience and you know, general strategy or whatever. I'd almost say this is a bit worse because there are fewer trees to winch from. Gonna recover. Switch to the Kodiak. And if I can, I want to see if there's an actual shortcut. Although this is very bumpy. Seems the neighbors have stopped. They were, I don't know what, but they have like a little courtyard outside area, just like us, behind the house. And on a Sunday, no less, they were doing some construction or whatever. Like, maybe just cleaning out the place, or it sounded like they were doing actual work. Yeah, so wait. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna help much. Just to actually try. It looks bumpy, but it's actually kind of stable. Of course, with medium logs, it's a whole different story. But I don't really see an easy way through here. I'm sure there is, but I have to find it. Scouting in a Kodiak with a logging crane. So it is possible. Just have to be really careful. Like if you would go through here, although there's one, this tree stump. Stupid camera. No, I don't think this side is all that great. Straight through here. I forget where I came out. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I will leave the Kodiak here. Should I put the stock suspension back on? I really don't know if it was just bad driving or, you know, general carelessness. Just thinking ahead, how would I even do the long logs? I'd say you would probably want to take the approach from above. Nope. $60 miles an hour. Although it says in kilometers. Is this like a... I know what I want to ask, I don't know how to phrase it. But is this a continental European truck or something? I don't know if the truck brand manufacturer Royal exists. Okay. I'm wondering if I'm being deceived, and if actually this most eastern road is actually the easiest. I would say it's the muddiest, but that's not really true, because this was... From memory, I forget when I last came through here. I think it was yesterday. This was easier than the bit we just did. But then you have to go through here, which is worse. And I'm really not looking forward to this small section. Or indeed to this whole section. And here, because there's nothing to winch from. So again, against my better judgment, I guess maybe I'll go through here. I was thinking already for the long logs. Like initially, I was gonna go this way and up the road and then whatever. But now I'm starting to question if it would be easier to just take the shortest route maybe up here. And then maybe in the P16 after all, because there's no ice involved. I don't know. It's safe to say I did underestimate this contract. I thought 4 loads of logs. How hard can it be? But I'd say maybe the sawmill, this specific sawmill, might just be the worst location in the game to get to. Not in the game, in the region. There's an eyelash in my eye. Or not in my eye per se, but in the other eyelashes. Okay. This bit was not an issue the first time. It would be very in form of SnowRunner, if that's the right expression, to cause trouble now. Things that were easy the first time tend to be more difficult the second time. It's very tempting to just try and go through the river. It's really just the bit from here down into the river that's bad, but I'd say it might still be worth it. What's life without a bit of adventure? No, camera, don't freak out. There's not much to lose, and there's a lot to win going this way, because if this succeeds, I'll feel pleased with myself. If it fails, I can say it was to be expected to fail. Yeah, that's a problem. Nope. Damn it. I've been a huge idiot. Why did I not take the cat for this? Okay, well, that makes it even less high stakes. Because if this goes sideways, literally, I'll just recover, delete the logs, recover, and use the cat. I wasn't sure if I should have gone out just there between the rocks. I'd like to get out here without being flushed away. I wish to winch to the big tree. No, no, no. Come on, surely. Thank you. Surely that was within reach. Careful. No. It's not lost yet, but I don't see this ending well. Okay, stupid idea number 2. And it's only been... Jesus. I've been live for almost an hour and I did 2 medium logs. Stink up, hey, what's up? How are you? How was the weather last night? Because from the forecast it seemed there was a lot of storming going on in northern France, which then got blown upwards across Belgium. Yeah, no, this is absolutely terrible. I haven't stalled yet. Not that tree. Big storm yesterday morning. Oh, okay. I thought it was more... I mean, for us it was in the course of the night. No, no, no. It's like... I need to shift to low gear plus to have enough power to get through the bits where I get stuck. But then I shoot forwards. Okay. Flimsy trees. Please don't mess up now. Rain this morning, cooled a lot, yeah. Same here. It's actually... Well, I mentioned the sweat stains earlier. Hello. What are you doing? Seriously? It's like, yeah, according to the weather app, 27 degrees, which is still hot, but there is a bit of a breeze. It's kind of overcast. I hate this contract. Nope. Please, I beg you. This is gonna go horribly wrong. How can I get stuck here, of all places? Brute force is required. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, this isn't happening. Now I'm probably getting the Kodiak stuck as well. I tried 2 different routes. The first one needed a lot of last-second winching, and it was kind of long. The second one was surprisingly easy through the river. I'm actually stuck both ways. The obvious thing to do, I guess, would be to bring the cat here also with the medium log add-on and just crane them over. Although, okay, I don't know what I did differently, but somehow we're out. Kind of. The Royal is out, the Kodiak is stuck. I need to be a bit further back. Come on. If you could telepathically control the winch points, that would be super. I know this is probably excessive, but I want to go around the right through the snow. something like this, not too briskly. And for good measure, just around the hole I dug. Okay. There is one other logging contract. So I won't say that was all the medium logs for Alaska yet. I'd say it's P16 time. I'm not getting emotional, just stuff in my eye. You retain switch. I think this is the first time I'll be logging with the P16. Yeah, I didn't have the front. Serious question. Can I even afford this? Because this is 16. I might have to sell something, which might be the dairy. Who knows? Wait, 14k, so it's 20.1k for you know, for the trailer and the add-on thing front. Is it even worth it? If I would sell this, I would get 74.6. I think it's safe to say my money went to tires mostly. I know I bought the whatever they are. I think, can't remember. Whatever these tires are, the big OHS 2s. They must have been like a bit over 6k. I bought a trailer. It's all just small things that add up. Like 5,000 to 6,000 here and there. When I only had 25-ish yesterday, I think. I'm inclined... Wait. Because really, I don't think I will use the dairy. There's a lot of stuff left to do. None of it, I think, requires anything that only the dairy could do. It's all just a lot of normal cargo. And I kind of doubt there is anything only the dairy could do, so... Michigan alone nets 300k. The only truck I bought was the Lodestar, which is not that expensive. Sorry, my slippers are in the way. I don't know if you know, but there are 50% sell prices active. So I try not to buy anything unless I really need it. Especially trailers. Speaking of trailers, I could do a round of all the maps and just sell all the trailers I can easily get to. Which ironically also won't earn me that much money because they're also sold at 50%. But at least they were free, so I'm only gaining money. I didn't lose any money on them. But I'm really not sure what other truck I would use for long logging here. Except the White Western. I mean, realistically, if I think about it, I will have to buy a long log rear trailer no matter which truck I use. The only difference is that I should have the front already, yeah. This is not a very productive stream. This is the first contract and it's been over an hour. How much is the normal rear? Also 14.1. So really we just lose an extra 6,000 if we use the P16. Which is not nothing, it's also not much. Hummer I could sell. I'm not that attached to it, I think. It's kind of annoying because between the Hummer and the dairy, I'm much less attached to the dairy and it would give me more money. But I was kind of planning to use the dairy at least for a few things here. Because this is only, yeah, 20.5 if I would sell it. I don't know what to do. Can you tell? Does this have ice trucks? Chains, you know, ice tires? No. So if I would use the dairy at all in Michigan, I would probably want to buy these. Screw it, I'm gonna sell this. I only bought tires for it. Oops, I have to check. This is also suitable for other trucks, so I don't want to sell the engine. Off-road. Highway tires. These surely... Oh, this is only suitable for the current truck. Okay, that's a bummer. Sell. That's everything I spent, so retain, sell, sell. Generally, it's not that more or that much more challenging with 50% sell prices, but I think I just used too many trucks, and then if I have to put better tires on all of them, whatever suspension, better engines, off-road gearbox, like all that stuff for all trucks just adds up. Okay. Please don't make me regret this. Heavy winch. Yeah, I need it. Was that the engine I took out of the dairy? I think it was. This is really not the time to splurge on cosmetics, but I just want to check. Yeah, it's really too expensive for what it is. Is a blue P16 sacrilege? It doesn't match the add-on at all, which is reason enough not to switch. Okay. I'm sorry that took so long. P16. Yeah. I will lose money on this. Would be nice if you could transfer at least some things between regions. Because now I will have, like, either I don't sell it and I lose all the money I spent on the trailer, or at best I can only get half back. Whereas to me it would make sense if you could transfer some trailers between, or all trailers between regions, so you only have to buy them once, which is, I assume, what you would do in real life. Okay. Godlike tree. I have to remember to also see if I can buy the advanced special gearbox for the cat. Or if by some miracle I can have that one for free. Okay. Yup. I'd say with any other truck I would consider going the longer way round, but in the P16 this way should be doable. I sincerely hope so. Just take all turns nice and wide. While not overshooting them. This path gives me PTSD winching the whole way. Well, I had my first experience. Wasn't really my first, because I had been... Come on. I had been through here yesterday when I meant to go this way. I just went this way with the Royal with medium logs. That was not fun. So yeah, I understand your pain. I don't mind having to winch a lot, as long as I don't fall over. Like, getting stuck is one thing. Having to winch to keep yourself upright is something else. Which is what I had to do earlier. Come on. All these concrete trees. This part's gonna suck just a bit. Wonder if it will be easier to go around those rocks. Probably not worth it, because you're likely to get the rear stuck on the rocks. Apologies that the bot message with the Discord thing shows up twice on screen in short succession. It's one from YouTube and one from Twitch. And I haven't been able to figure out a way to have the overlay thing ignore bot messages. I assume it can be done, I just not really sure how. I would really like to do another contract after this before I have to end. But by the looks of it, it's gonna take at least another half hour to finish this. Okay, I see the stump. Doing my best not to get caught on it. Yeah, and here I'm not sure which way is easier. Because the shortest way is left, obviously. But I feel like the path on the right is a little bit easier and less muddy. Also a bit narrower, I think. Like, the actual path is narrower, but there is a bit more space. My gut says right. And now I'm thinking of food. I'm aware I sometimes sound like I think about food a lot. That's really not the case. Just for some reason, while streaming, I tend to think ahead about dinner. Maybe because I have time to think. Like, not sure how that works, but yeah, just most likely we're gonna have to order something tonight because we don't have much in the house. And at this point it's too late anyway, because it's already almost 4, which is not really enough time to defrost meat. But I guess that depends on what time I would make dinner. Because if I'd only cook at 7, that should be enough time to at least mostly defrost it. But yeah. I already have takeout in mind, so anything other than that is going to be a disappointment. As for what takeout, that remains to be seen. I don't dare to hope that my wife will have the same, that she will agree with my preferences. She tends to want pizza more often, and I tend to want either kebab or fries more often. I think I made the right choice going this way. It's just, yeah, this final turn that's a little bit tight, in a beast like the P16, as I'm ably demonstrating. Or maybe unably demonstrating. Not sure what I was getting stuck on. Maybe just the rear of the logs was caught on the telephone pole. The thing with the P16 that I'm experiencing is you tend to want to turn later so you can make the turn wider, but because the turning radius is so big, you actually need to turn a bit sooner than you normally would. Subtleties of this game. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I look away for 1 second. It seems the bots have arrived today. They fixed the trailer, yeah. I saw on Reddit. I hadn't tried it yet. I mean, obviously I hadn't tried it yet. Okay. I wasn't sure if that tree would be solid or not. So now I will have to refuel. But I think I should be able to make it back to the logging station, and then I'll just take a scout to refuel. Clankers. What do you mean? I'm not even sure what that word means. I kind of like and dislike how glitched the P16 looks, because the cab is offset from the engine. The N-word, but for AI/bot. Oh. Did not know that, but I kind of like it. Yeah, I'm glad I got SeriBot. I didn't think it was necessary because I never had the kind of bots like that, the ones that show up in bunches. But ever since I installed it, or you don't even install it, just allow it into your chat, it has caught a bunch of these bots. Inter-bot warfare. See, those ones, like, I did see them very briefly before they got banned. If it weren't for Siribot, I probably wouldn't have realized it was a bot. But I suppose humans don't tend to like open with compliments and then straight into a request to play together. Maybe some people would, like, no judgment, but it's a very direct approach, which I guess is reason enough for Siri to be triggered. I've seen real humans speak like that. Lamau. Yeah, I mean, for that specific one, I'm not 100% sure. I just trust that it's correct. The phrasing was a bit off, like, would be great to play together and share tips. I don't know, I feel like most people would say, I mean, they would just ask to play together and not the tips part. Many people use Siribot, so I choose to believe that it's accurate. Maybe not 100% accurate, which is unfortunate for those few people who get banned unrightfully. Ideally, after we finish this, I would be able to start and complete one more contract at least. I have like another hour or so. Technically I have more, but yeah, actually let's say hour and a half. That would make it 5:30 and 3 hours total. I feel like after 3 hours I start to drift off a bit and like become more passive, if that's even possible. Come on, not you. Not you. Not you. Yes. This is an awful bit of mud, but overall I think it's still worth going this way. If I had known, I would probably have come this way with the medium logs as well. I'm trying to break this. Can it even break? Yeah. It's technically broken because it sank into the earth, but it's still there. Almost running out, but I think if I just stop here just before the entrance, I can switch to what? Homer, I suppose. Although wait, because this can only have 40 and 40. It's not all that much. Okay. It's a bit unnecessary, but still necessary. Recover, put on the fuel tank. It's too many steps if I would have to switch to the North Port garage where I assume the Lodestar is. Actually, where is the Lodestar? Not here. Not here. Here. I forget how much fuel this actually has. Yeah, just 60. I'll recover it because I have no use for it. Is there really no way to get more fuel? I think I've been spoiled by the F750. Didn't mean to retain. I don't know why, but I always struggle so much with navigating the maps. I feel like it's different buttons based on where you are. Sometimes it's triangle, sometimes it's square. Yeah, spoiled by the F750 because that can have like 800 liters of fuel. That might be exaggerated. If it is, I don't think it's that exaggerated. At least a few hundred liters. With the roof rack and the pickup bed supplies and like... I think there's a roof rack as well. I got worried for a second that I took a wrong turn. Not sure where that could have even happened. Okay, refuel the beast. Get out of the way. I think if I go clockwise around, I'd have more of a chance to make that turn just outside the entrance in one go. without like a 15-point turn. On a technical note, is the game loud enough? Because sometimes I do try to keep it fairly quiet in general, but it'd be nice if you could hear the engine just a bit. Which I'm not sure if you can right now. Yeah, that was way too wide. A little bit sounds good. Okay. There is a separate slider, I'm sure you know, but I like that there's a separate slider just for the engine. Afternoon, SnowRunner. How are you today, sir? In my mind, that wasn't my worst impression of a Northern English accent. Yeah, pretty good. It sounds like a cliche, maybe, but it's not as hot as it was yesterday, which means it's good. Yesterday was the last day for now of excessive heat. Now it's quote-unquote just high 20s. And kinda humid still, but you know, I can breathe upstairs. Come on, man. Can I reach that one? Yeah. How is Lies of P going? I don't know if you've been streaming more since the last time I was there. I would assume not, but might be wrong. We're good for a really tough boss. Managed to do it before bed. Were you able to sleep afterwards? Or was it too much of an adrenaline rush? I was steering hard right and it just didn't move. Kind of playing it on and off stream. Yeah, I get it. I guess I kind of have the luxury to have PlayStation and Steam. So I can, and I have more than one game on both platforms, so I can just play the PlayStation version off camera and keep the Steam version for streams. I can't remember the last time I bought a game for PlayStation though. Just haven't been playing as much. green monster of the swamp. In the past I've ruined games for myself. I'm trying to keep it just for stream. I think I get that. I'm contemplating how I feel. Because in a way it's kinda nice to save a particular game just for streaming, because that means I can't play it that much. But I can understand that, like, for me at least, it tends to be a bit more difficult to enjoy a game, especially if I'm playing it for the first time on stream, because then you're kind of only half focused. But yeah, if you really feel like playing any one game but you don't feel like streaming, it's good to not put too much pressure. What am I trying to say even? It's good to not obsess about things like that, which I know I'm likely to do. Like if I have in mind to only play a game on stream, it's very difficult for me to play it off stream even if I would want to. Obsessive tendencies and, like, I won't say OCD because it's not even close to OCD, and OCD is a thing that gets thrown around a lot unfairly, which dilutes the diagnosis. I think it was Luke Westaway from Outside Extra, or formerly Outside Extra, who talked about that. Like, I'm pretty sure he has OCD officially. I forget the game, it might have been Bloodborne or some other Let's Play he did on Outside Extra or on his own channel. I really don't remember. Actually, I can just cut through here and not crash into that one stump. But yeah, he talked about it and it was kind of eye-opening that I did used to say sometimes that it's my OCD when I don't have OCD. It's just some kind of minor obsessive thing. Same thing for autism, I guess, or ADHD, which is quote-unquote trendy. Okay, that took 1 hour 52 minutes. Just that one contract. Come to think of it, this gives me the chance to try something. I don't know if this works by default. Or is that something you have to set up? You know, I thought it was a standard command thing. For Twitch, at least. YouTube isn't as fancy. Fancy? YouTube isn't as fancy when it comes to that kind of stuff. I did something. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to set up some kind of shout out command where it posts the link and such. So I have to do it the boring way and the awkward way and the verbal way. For anyone watching, to check out God of Deer. He's a good dude. He's as good of a dude as I am bad of a driver. Wait. Did I say it wrong? No, I'm getting confused. Because I'm not sure what I said. The point was, I'm a bad driver, you're a good dude. Like, inversely proportional to my skill. Not bad driving. Oh. Well. I think the P16 is just making me look better than I really am, because it's kind of impossible to have anything serious happen. It is much more tolerant of brute force. I want to think about what contract I want to do next, but I can't recover because of the trailer, so I have to drive it back to the garage and then leave it there. It's a shame the two games they brought out after SnowRunner just don't hit the same. Yeah. I guess you mean, well, I don't know why sometimes I sound, or I make myself sound more hesitant when I know what I'm talking about. Like some kind of weird involuntary false modesty. I know you mean expeditions and roadcraft. Humble bragging. Not even really that, because what I wanted to say was not at all humble. Just kind of phrasing it more uncertainly than what I actually mean. I haven't tried either of those games. I might, well, between the two, if I would try one of them, it would be Expeditions. Because I do like scouting in the game, but it's kind of a secondary thing. Whereas in Expeditions, that's pretty much all you have to do. And I'm intrigued by some of the additional things you can do, like the tire pressure and the loosening of a winch, which you can't do in SnowRunner. Both look cool. I've heard nothing but bad things. Tried expeditions. Yeah, I think you mentioned it at some point. Maybe not. It's surprising you say that you've only heard bad things, because I feel like they're pretty well received generally. I feel like the most common complaints pretty much boil down to people expecting them to be sequels to SnowRunner, like expeditions. Excuse me. Neither expeditions or Roadcraft or SnowRunner 2. They're just different things. If anything, I feel like maybe SnowRunner looks a bit worse now in comparison, because of the things you can do in those games that you can't do in SnowRunner. Like loosening the winch, or slackening, is that a word? Slackening the winch. Change tire pressure, I don't know what other things there are, like the drone and stuff. I will not be able to turn here. And in Roadcraft, the fact that roads permanently get fixed, which you also can't do in SnowRunner. People complain that games are half-baked. SnowRunner 2 should have been prioritized. Is there talk of SnowRunner 2 at all? It's the first time hearing about it. And I wouldn't really be sure how I feel if there is indeed talk of SnowRunner 2, because I'm probably not even halfway in this SnowRunner, even on PlayStation, where I'm much further along. Not officially. I mean, people want a proper SnowRunner sequel. Right. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I'm not sure I agree. Yeah, just leave this here. And the truck, because I don't really need it now. Because I know nothing about game development, so I don't know how it all works, but I understand that it's probably not possible to do all the stuff they do in Expeditions and Roadcraft in SnowRunner. Like changing how the winch works and whatever kind of physics stuff. So I do get that they made separate games with those features. But then again, I suppose I'm really forming my thoughts as I talk, which is a terrible idea. I would also understand why people would just want a SnowRunner 2 that's just more of SnowRunner with all the extra stuff. I don't know. I should do something else. If I could have a live cat feed right now. Getting all turned around because I'm not sure what to do first. This is all in this map, so that makes sense, I guess. Concrete blocks from here. Wood planks times 2. That's just 4 slots, so that would fit on one semi or one twin steer. Pipes I could get here, but most likely I'd just get them from Mountain River because it's a much easier route. It's tempting to take the twin steer, but I don't know if I want to. Option paralysis is real. Twin steer. Wait. I did complete this, right? A bit confused why it's still in the list. However, it's a bit excessive and I hesitate to spend more money than I already have. But I think I do want to go back to the stock suspension, not the raised one, just for safety reasons. Nope, I'll risk it with the non-chains. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Probably the planks first, although this really doesn't change all that much because I might as well get the planks from here because it's much shorter. And it avoids this short section. So yeah, wait, change of plan. Recover. Royal with flatbeds. Just do it in 3 trips. Which is only 1 more than 2. Would you believe it? It sucks that it's already Sunday. Not to be a bummer. It's just I was planning to stream on Fridays as per usual. But I wasn't able to because of the heat. And now I feel like I still have to catch up from a Friday, which is not possible because I can only do so much. There is a good chance I'll stream more after dinner. I know yesterday I said it would be ETS2 if I did stream twice today. But now I'm so close to finishing Alaska. Not really. I feel like I'm close to finishing Alaska. And it's kind of tempting to just power through and do 2 SnowRunners in one day. Because I still don't really know. Like, in my mind, ETS2 is kind of boring to watch. More boring than SnowRunner in any case. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because it's just a lot of straight driving. But I can't say that for sure because it's been a long time, like a month or two maybe, since I last streamed it. But now I have this idea in my mind that makes me hesitant to play it on stream in favor of SnowRunner. In short, if you know what you would want to watch, if you know you would be here like between 8 and 11 or so, feel free to shout out games from a curated list of SnowRunner, ETS2, Subnautica, maybe not Isaac. I don't really feel like Isaac today. Maybe Stardew Valley, maybe Cairn. I think that's all the main games. Or it's the main game, which is SnowRunner, and all the secondary games. I think I always, like, even though I just said that I'm not sure if ETS2 is fun to watch, and it's not as engaging to play as SnowRunner. Whenever I do play it by myself, it's always hard to stop, and I forget how engaging it actually is, because it's like it does take a different kind of concentration. And now that I have all of Europe available to me, you know, there's a lot more to do and to see. Yo, Alaska Drift. Yeah, blocks times 2. Do I have any truck currently here? Yes, I do. Nice. And it's just here. And I don't think there is a semi. I don't know. I always forget if I should be able to see if it has a semi attached to it. It's just the normal 2-slot bed, so I can just use that to get the pipes from here. That will save me one-way trip. No takers for the game choice. Maybe just for the sake of variety. It should be ETS2 anyway. No, 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 no. Son of a bitch. I'm unhappy. I know, I could just delete the cargo and recover. But I've already done one rescue mission today, so what's another... What is another one? Quickly losing the ability to talk. Maybe the small crane would have been enough, but you know. Why use the small one when you have the big one? If I think about it, I'm not even really sure where the limitations of the small crane end and the capabilities of the big crane start, if that makes any sense. Like things you can do with the small with the big one that you can't do with the small one, things you can do with either. I doubt there's anything the small crane can do that the big crane can't. Okay. How am I gonna do this? It's a bit of an awkward spot. Maybe something like this. The crane is caught on my stacks. I'm trying to use, or trying to select that winch point. Of course, it's the last one in the series. Are all my eyelashes actually falling out? not doing all that much. Except making the GMC fall over. Yup. Okay. Different approach. Don't use the crane for the rescue itself. Yeah. It seems I was making things too complicated. Uno. Dos. Camera's not cooperating. Okay. All in all, not so bad. Just a bit annoying. Let's try and not do that again. This would be a prime spot to do it again. Still not 100% sure if the raised suspension is worth it on the Royal. But, and I know this is the worst argument, raised trucks just look cooler. Okay. Thusly, then switch to this guy. Oh, really? I was sure this had a flatbed. Okay, well, unless the trailer is somewhere close, which I don't think it is. Flatbed semi, alright. Yeah, I suppose. I do forget. Wait, because this is high saddle, right? I don't know if there's a way to check. But it must be high saddle, because otherwise why would the trailer not be attached? Because we did do the big trailer from Pedro Bay here. I know I used this truck, so that must be high saddle, which I won't need. And since we're at the garage, we might as well... Nope, low saddle. Although, wait. Apologies. What I will do is flatbed here. Then we take the Fleet Star. It's been so long, I don't remember the name. Changing my mind. 10 ways till Sunday. This also kind of works out because this has a semi-trailer attached. It's not that far from here to Mountain River and to the pickup location. Unless I can pick up small pipes here, which I doubt. No. Transstar, the best truck in the game. That might be sarcasm. I'm assuming it's not sarcasm. I've been trying to make a point to use it a bit more often, just for the stuff that's only roads, no off-roading required. Because it is a very fun truck. I just, you know, I think for the rest of Alaska, I'll keep this one as the dedicated semi-trailer chains roads only truck. I will still want to use the Fleet Star a few times, which is why I was about to put the low saddle on the Fleet Star and use that as the roads only truck, because it is good off-road, but we're all familiar with the balance issues. Never used it. I see so many people joking about it. It is good if you're aware of its limitations. Like no all-wheel drive, unless that changed and I found it somewhere. So I'm just muting for the plane. Okay. It's not completely gone. It sounds like it's circling. But yeah, no all-wheel drive or diff locks are pretty big limitations. which is why I don't use this truck for any kind of off-roading. And I don't intend to. I forget specifically, I know you can find raised suspension for it in Maine, I think. Which is a long ways away, both in the game and geographically. It's pretty much as far as you can go. Alaska to Maine. I guess Alaska to Florida would be the biggest distance. But yeah, I know this is kind of off-roading, but as long as it's not much worse than this, it can still manage. It's got S or maybe S plus power to weight, which helps. But yeah, kinda small wheels. It's not that big, which can be a good thing. I wouldn't use this for logging, although I'm sure if I would actually try it, it wouldn't be as bad as I thought it was. I just like it. I think I would like the... I forget the name, the Fords... I was gonna say BLT, but that's a different thing. The CLT, maybe? I think I would like that a bit more, just because it's physically bigger and looks a bit nicer to me. It's the Terminator truck. The Ford one, yeah. I also have never seen Terminator, so I don't fully, or I can't fully appreciate the reference. Maybe if I ever have enough money to buy that Ford, I will. Because I've never ever tried it. CLT 9000, yeah. That sounds right. Maybe you would want to have the highway... Wait, is it called highway or high range gearbox? High range, I guess. Is there such a thing as a highway gearbox? Maybe that would make more sense, but I just never got used to using the high range on anything. I don't fully understand how it works. I'm scared of things I don't understand, so... yeah. It's just off-road gearbox all the way. Or the equivalent for heavy trucks. And Terminator 1 is the Transstar. So the Ford is not the Terminator truck at all. Is that correct? They look kinda similar. but not really. It is very good for corning. Corning, really? It is very good for cornering. Please don't corn in your vehicles. In any vehicle. Yo. That was a bit risky. Small pipes. I was very close to ordering at least a few, not ordering, buying a few add-ons for American Truck Sim. Because I do like both ATS and ETS for different reasons. I like ATS because it's in America. I like ETS because it's in Europe and because the trucks are easier to drive. I'm sure it's just a matter of getting used to it, but like any kind of maneuvering in ATS I just struggle with. It's more difficult to corner in them because they're bigger, read longer, and because they have a long nose. So I just can't really get used to it. Or I haven't gotten used to it, and I feel like if I would switch between the two too much, it would make things more difficult in both games. Like I would unlearn how to maneuver in the European trucks, and I wouldn't get much better at maneuvering in the American trucks. And also, it sounds stupid, but driving in ATS feels weird because of the road markings. I don't fully understand what they all mean and how you're supposed to abide by them. Also, I like that in ETS2 you can just leave it in kph or kilometers generally and not be confused, except if you're in the UK. In American Truck Sim, like I have to combine units in some way, because for immersion's sake, I like to have the speed in miles per hour, not kph. Also because all the speed limits are in miles per hour, so it just gets a bit weird. Like if you drive in the UK in ETS with kph, then 60 60 miles per hour is 97 kilometers per hour, I think. 50 miles is 80 kilometers. 30 miles, I'm not even sure. It's like 47 or something, maybe. I forget specifically, but I think the issue I had in ATS was that I wanted to have the speed in miles per hour, but all other units in metric, which doesn't necessarily work, because then it's like fuel consumption would be miles to the gallon, which just means nothing to me. But then you'd have kilometers per liter, which means something to me, but then it's different from miles per hour, and like it's a minor obsession that I couldn't really get over. Oh, right. I left this here. I feel a bit silly using a semi-trailer for one small pipes. When we were talking about all the expeditions, roadcraft, SnowRunner stuff, I was going to mention that someone gifted me a game yesterday, which was very cool. That has happened once or twice, but certainly not recently. Not that I expect anything, of course. It's kind of difficult not to make it sound awful. But yeah. Someone in chat chose to buy me MudRunner because we were talking about it, and I checked on Steam how much it was, because I have heard from various sources that MudRunner is still the better game in some respects, which has always made me curious, but never so curious that I wanted to try it. But I don't know what the full price is, but yesterday at least, maybe today still, it was like €4 or €5. Yeah, okay. Wait, turn off the engine. No, don't change truck. So yeah, that's another wormhole I could go down if I start playing MudRunner as well. Of course I will try it. I don't know yet if I would ever stream it or record it otherwise. don't think I'd be able to get anything finished. Apparently has better physics. Yeah, that's what the guy said, that that MudRunner still feels more like you're driving a big truck. I can't compare, but I can say that SnowRunner feels very light a lot of the times, especially on roads. The fact that the only cargo in MudRunner is logs kind of put you off. If I remember correctly, he said that it's fuel, garage parts, and logs. I don't know if I misunderstood. But yeah, it is much more limited cargo. Deliver to truck stop mountain river, 2 consumables, 4 fuel, 2 wood planks. That doesn't sound like that much, especially if I can get it all here. The wood planks is here. I always forget to accept or activate rather. Planks from here, consumables here, fuel here. It's not too bad, and it's only 8 slots total. I could do the planks in one trip. Not really sure. Again, I could use the twin steer. Maybe this is a more appropriate thing because there's not much off-roading required, if any. Actually, fuel can be from here, which is even closer. So yeah, I mean, even if I take a 2-slot bed, it's 2 short trips just for the fuel. Then 1 for the consumables, and then 1 for the planks, so it's not too bad. Yeah, we have a heading. Where is my White Western? You know what? This is a prime occasion to use the Fleet Star. Retain, switch maps. Bring it out here. Now I want to check. This is 47. 45, okay. Sorry, loud car and no time to mute. It's a bit excessive to spend another 6,000 on bigger chain tires. 6,500 when I might not even need I'm having a hard time thinking today. Like, I have all chains. I don't think I want to buy a second set of bigger chains, which I won't use that much in the end, and then I'll have to sell at a loss. Unless they would also fit other trucks, which I'm not sure about. So just use these. No, flatbed. Yeah. Okay. It's the second time that tree has messed me up. There's like a tree kind of in the ground that I never see in time. But yeah, this is definitely going to be the final thing for today. It's just 3 relatively short trips and 1 kind of long trip to get there. Not counting any incidents. I didn't think to ask Stenka, but have you played MudRunner, not knowing that the cargo is limited, or did you choose not to buy it because you knew in advance that it's such a limited cargo? I don't think for me it's that big of an issue. Just, of course, it's a pretty different experience, but in a way it's kind of a nice chains. I said chains too much in the last 10 minutes that I can't say change now. It might be kind of a nice change from what is sometimes too much different cargo in SnowRunner. That could have been an accident. Not that interested anyway, so nowhere near done with SnowRunner. Yeah, that's fair. That was my main argument against buying it myself. Just, I'm happy that I have it now, and I'm kind of curious to try it. But I don't think I would have bought it for myself just because I'm like, it would take me a year of daily snow running for multiple hours at a time to even get close to finishing all the DLCs. I don't need to add more things to the backlog. It's not entirely true. I did add a bunch of stuff to my backlog by purchasing 5, I believe, games that were on a deep sale. Like €20 total. Lord knows when I'll ever get round to playing all of them. Wanted to play Chiapas. I guess that's the new one. Already invested in Ontario. Yeah, whenever there's a new season, I just kind of block it out of my mind. Because I do want to play them all in order. So there's not much point even thinking about anything past hammer. Armor. I'm never sure. People tell me different things and different ways to pronounce it. I always forget who tells me about which pronunciation, because I think you mentioned one, but I forget which one. Was it armor, hammer, aimer, amour? AMUR. Pretty much only heard people pronouncing it like amour. L'amour. Pour toujours. Do you know Stromae, the artist? I got self-conscious pronouncing it the way I normally pronounce it, which is the normal way to pronounce it, not Stromae. Stromae. It's pretty much the only French-speaking artist that I actively listen to. I'm sure many people still don't. It would be a stretch to say that he's in my active listening rotation, but he does have a few songs that I really like. He has a nice Tiny Desk concert. Most of those Tiny Desk concerts are really good. Okay, I don't regret not taking a semi-trailer yet. Used to listen back when I was a kid, like Papa Uti. Yeah. Somewhat ironically, I really disliked him when I first heard of him, because his first big hit, I think, was Alors on danse. Which I really don't like still. I mean, I don't hate it as much as I used to, but it's still not one I would put on voluntarily. If I'm honest, I can't really deny that there's some I don't know if it's necessarily chauvinism involved, but I do like him a tiny bit more than I already do, just because he's Belgian. We're a small country. We do have quite a few national treasures, most of which I probably don't even know about. But musically, can't say I listened to that many Belgian bands. Forgot this one, even though it's the one that made him famous. Yeah. It's very different from his... I mean, I'm gonna sound like I know... And I drove straight past the fuel station. But it's fine, we'll just do the consumables first. Hawaiian French fries. Fries are French, unfortunately for you Belgians. Wait, am I completely wrong that he's not Belgian at all? I know he's from Brussels. Or that's where he grew up, for the most part. Oh, okay. I thought you did mean the country French, not the language French. Yeah, the only... This is kind of criminal, because I'm sure there are at least a few more that I can't think of. But the one Belgian band that I really like is Soulwax, and they are from Flanders. It's just that Americans don't even know Belgium exists. Everything that comes from there is just French. Yeah, it's probably true. ASM Guven, I hope I'm saying that right. Hello, how are you? Welcome. SnowRunner. Going for the Slavic pronunciation there. Hello, I am SnowRunner. Sorry if that's cultural appropriation. I feel like many people who aren't Americans, or like, to put it more generally, I feel like many non-Americans who play SnowRunner are Russians. Steam. I'm not sure what to do with that information. I am playing on Steam, if that's what you mean. Yeah, just two more. I should probably refuel, but I'm not going to. I mean, I don't need to refuel to finish this contract, but generally I like to top up when it's like a third or lower, or 2/3 or lower, a third down. Try not to have any accidents on the very final stretch of the stream. Once again, not that much money for how much effort it was. Just leave this here. days I shouldn't be on my phone. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more contracts to go, and then we're done with Alaska after we sell all the trailers. Which I gather will be quite a few. But I should, because as we've established today, I can use all the money I can get. But yeah, these are all a bit more involved. This is just logs. It is much further. I think it's going to be quite a bit easier to do this one compared to the one where you had to take logs here. Because it's still too medium, too long. I think it makes sense to get both from here, because you can just drive along the roads pretty much. Zentush, hello, how are you? Zentush. So yeah. Maybe this one I will do with a medium log trailer, as much as I don't want to buy more trailers than I really need, because I have to sell them for half as much. If you think about it, the only thing you save by using a trailer is time. Fuel is free, so it doesn't matter how many trips it takes to get anything done. But even then, from here to the gate and to the other sawmill in Mountain River, it's not that far. So yeah, probably not going to use a trailer for this. And then I will have to make a very deliberate choice whether or not to use the P16. Because for the long logs to here, I did use the P16. I bought the rear thing, the trailer, and the front. But this was all mud, which is very much prime P16 terrain. To the Mountain River sawmill is going to be pretty much all ice roads, with a lot of uphill, which I'm not sure the P16 will be able to do. So as much as it pains me, I might have to buy a second normal long logging rear trailer. That kind of sucks. But it is what it is. Almost yanked my headphones off. Sadly, that's going to do it for today. It's been a good 3 hours. I will take a break, order dinner, most likely wait for dinner to arrive, eat dinner, and then if it's not too late by then, I would like to play some more, except then it would be ETS 2. Just some regular road trucking. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you for watching, thanks for hanging, thanks for chatting. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Stenka, thank you. I'll probably be back later with more ETS 2. Thank you. Bye-bye.